Hello. So yes, I was running a bit late, so it seems that others... Oh, there's Mike. Hey Mike.
Good morning, Gert.
How you doing?
Good today.
Yeah? Well, you're
It's
from
fresh
another
here.
angle. This is an angle I haven't seen yet from your home. Whoa,
Oh,
Antonio, Duncan, Harry.
I'm here, finally.
Awesome.
Awesome. Sorry for the little delay.
Antonio, I think
Antonio, I think you're causing echo again.
Okay, who's the echo?
Let me see.
Let me see.
Yeah,
there's still a huge echo.
I hear it. But I'm on headset microphone.
Same for me.
Same for me.
Well, I've tried muting my settings and it didn't seem to make a difference.
And it seemed to be
when Antonio joined.
Hello?
Hello?
No,
It's still not working.
It's not me.
Hoping it's not me.
But when I said hi to
But when I said hi to Mike, I couldn't hear an echo, so...
Hello? Yeah, it's gone now. So I don't know who changed what, but it's all fixed now.
It's all fixed now.
I didn't change anything.
Oh, there it's back.
There it's...
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Antonio.
it's Antonio.
Oh no.
Alex, hi, welcome. Hello? Hi, Alex. Can you hear us?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, you haven't seen you before. Would you mind just saying
No.
what instrument you're playing, or if you're not playing, just interested in the Eigenharp or whatever?
Oh, I got my Pico a couple of months ago, but I'm still stuck with this little thing here. It's very limited, so it's why I tried to join your clubhouse thing to like find some new, let's say, new feature, new way to push that thing more than I can.
Right.
And my English is a little bit limited. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Where are you from?
Quebec City right now.
Quebec. Okay. So you
So
speak
it's
French?
10. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I could talk to you in French. I'm not sure how much the others would understand.
Well, I will practice my English too. So
Well, Mike should understand French. He's a Canadian, right?
Yeah, I listen poorly.
You're ahead of me.
I'd be in the same category. I got a chance to listen to Geert's very good introduction to the Alpha over the weekend, the one in French, and taught me some new French and some new Alpha bits and pieces. It was good.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, maybe I might do an English one if you think it helped you. It should not cover more than what's available in the tutorial videos on the website, though.
It's really nice to have it all in one place, Geert.
Yeah.
To actually go through from soup to nuts, especially the advanced setups is always, or the advanced functions. Good to kind of cover it all. So.
Cool. So Alex, you're currently the only person I think that only has a Pico, but I think that many of us started with a Pico and have had a lot of fun with it. So by no means you should say that. I think you should say that it's very limited, because we've all done a lot of fun stuff with the Pico, I think.
oh, I have no doubt that it's an amazing thing. But right now I try to like do the stuff you do with the Alpha, and it's impossible. I can't play a song by myself, so I have to find a band that will grant me. Okay, yeah, let's play with this little thing.
Well,
Plus the bass.
there are some tricks that you can use, right? You can, for example, start if you want to play by yourself and do chords, then with the Pico you really have to play in a major or in a minor scale, and not in the chromatic scale. If you play in the chromatic scale, you'll not be able to get any chords laid out. And then another trick that I found was that if you hold down a chord, for example, with your left hand, and then you use the octave buttons at the bottom to switch, you can keep that chord going. The notes that you're playing with your left hand will continue playing, even if you switch the octaves of all the keys. So you can play some higher melodies with your right hand while keeping down chords with your left hand that might be an octave lower. So that's also a trick that I used to use. And then the scheduler and the recorder is something that's really useful. The Pico, just record a few measures and then improvise on top of it. And I think you can do a lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Antonio is trying out his Pico there.
Just go back to the other configuration. It's better now.
Yes, it sounds perfect.
Yeah, echo's gone.
Echo's gone. Echo's gone. Echo's gone. Sorry, we should
stop that.
Yeah, about the Pico, I think it's a marvelous instrument. Also, you can do so much with it. Don't think about the limitations. Just think about what you can come up with it. I still love it. Everywhere I go, it goes with me. So just try.
Yeah, there's a lot less overhead and do stuff too. I mean, you just plug it in, it loads quickly. It's portable. I quite like mine, and I guess though you're another WX5 player, aren't you? Or,
Yes.
So compared to that, the Pico is dramatically more powerful.
Light years away. Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, I saw a thread on a new thread on KVR a couple of days ago. Again, someone asking to compare the Pico to the what is it called again? WR5, right, or something like that.
WX5 or WX7, or the Akai.
Or the Akai, yeah.
Let me just dig up the link, because I've never played the EWI, but maybe some of you can help these guys out. I'm just pasting the link.
Yeah, I think I could check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, Alex, I still remember when I played the Pico for about 6 months before buying an Alpha, and I remember that the Picos was about 1 week until I started composing and doing really fun stuff with it. While the Alpha, you have to sit down for like a month or two before you're like able to feel comfortable with this thing, because it's large. It's a big instrument, the Alpha. It's bigger than an electric guitar. So there are a lot of advantages to the Pico, and just like Antonio and Mike said, anywhere I go when I'm away for more than 1 day, my Pico is always in my backpack, and I can,
absolutely,
I can play on the train and in the airport, anywhere. So
I love that video of you on the train. It is just so, I always imagine what the people sitting next to you were thinking.
Do you remember this, Mike?
Oh yeah, I actually had the USB version. Oh, that's the valve instrument.
Yeah, it's very, very old.
Yeah,
I still like to play it, but it's analog synths. You can use samples, and it's very limited, of course. But we are talking something from the 80s, I think.
I'm guessing 70s, but maybe 80s. No, 80s. You're right.
I think it's 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
I think MIDI was about 1985, 86, right in there when they first came out on the market with it, I think.
Yeah, but Steiner was doing stuff pre-MIDI, I thought.
Pre-MIDI?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So how do you hook this thing up?
It's a strange cable.
And it goes to an external module or something, or?
Yes. I still have 2 of them, inclusive a keyboard. It's the VX600, I think. I still love them because they are analog synths. You control them with the brass. strange. Here it's the octaves. It's down there. There's no moving parts besides this one, and this sort of imitates the trumpet.
It looks visually it looks more 60s than 80s. Maybe they started designing it in the 60s, but it took them 20 years. Not surprising. Right? Sorry, Duncan?
Does it use the same fingerings as trumpet?
Yes. Like 3 fingers, but you have this other 3 contacts.
Mm-hmm.
To the side of it. Yes.
Yeah, major third up, major third down, something like that. You could pitch bend it with the plates.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the whoops. WX version.
That's the new one. I have the old one.
I actually have the old one too, but I made the mistake of my dog got its leg tangled in the cord and dragged it across the room. And now the circuit board inside is loose, so every now and then it just sort of slips down and the contacts don't work properly. Mm-hmm. But I do like the new one for, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, for that reason, it's actually got a MIDI plug on it.
Yeah, directly.
And it'll also run on batteries.
Yeah.
So it's just a complete standalone MIDI controller. The other difference I find is on these guys, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. Let's see. There's actually a reed.
Oh.
And the advantage of the reed, and I'm pretty sure Yamaha have that patented, which is a bitch. You can set it up for what's called loose lip, so you actually have to bite up to the note.
Yes. Yeah.
It's excellent. It just gives you a very natural sound when you do that. Hi.
Hey,
morning. So the one thing that I find about the Pico that I really miss is that reed.
Yes, I miss it too. This is the WX with 7. I think by the time it was a neat instrument. I did not start with the bombs, Kyle. I'm always more like a brass musician, but I think it's a neat approach. I still play with it sometimes. And I like to invite.
Before, but it's amazing now that I see this, how similar it looks to this other alternative controller that was announced 2 years ago at Music Messe called Carlax or something like that.
Yes,
it looks very similar. It's like the same kind of keys and also round and black and.
Yeah. I accompany that also. Wouldn't mind having one to try it out or something. But I don't know. The alpha by now takes all my time. This one has a pitch bend over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That you could bend up and down.
Tragika, you've got clones joining. It's handy though. It's a new concept. Hi Draki, can you hear us? No, she can't hear it.
No.
You can hear her click though. So Alex, what instrument did you used to play before, or are you still playing, or is this your first instrument?
No, it's not my first one. I start the trumpet, like the B-flat trumpet here in America. We start always the B-flat first, and I'm still playing right now at the university.
Cool.
But I try to diversify my music, so I start the keyboard. But the approach to keyboard is like people say, yeah, you have to practice piano before and blah blah blah. So I push myself now in guitar, and this little echo thing is quite the same handling than a guitar, but you have to know the wind instrument technique to use the breath pipe. like those guys were saying before, the reed thing. I'm not used to reed. But the Pico, I'm sure the alpha has a resistance in the when you blow in the pipe, and the resistance is quite similar to the trumpet. It's really strange, but for me, it's very natural to use the breath pipe, and I can breath as I want for like the same. Yeah, it's very natural. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We had
for a brass.
So one of the musicians that worked at Eigenlabs before, he was actually a sax player. I don't know if you guys remember him, Dave, who made a lot of the demos, the blonde guy. He maybe that's why it's very similar. It's got a similar feel to brass instruments, because he was a saxophone player, or he still is a saxophone player. So yeah.
Because without resistance, you will not be able to blow for like the instrument for 5 seconds.
Yeah, because it just goes through, right? Otherwise, the wind is just going through from beginning to the end, and your lungs empty.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mess a lot with the brass pipe in the start, and inclusive I've asked Dave to be able to, through bel canto, config this brass stringness or something. You can configure it or either on the alpha or on the pico. You can make it stronger or softer.
Yes, but what Alex is talking about is the actual physical resistance, which is not related to how sensitive the detection is, but the fact that when you actually blow wind through it, that it's not like when you're blowing in the room, because when you blow in the room, well, the pressure that you built up in your cheeks is gone immediately, while in the breath pipe of the Eigenharps, it's not the case. I actually never thought about that. It's a very good point, Alex.
Yeah, the Yamaha things come with little plugs that you can exchange to make them all the way from barely resistant to less so. In fact, I think you can actually seal them.
Yeah, you can. This first I've shown, the air doesn't go through the instrument. That's what's stranger. It doesn't go through the instrument. Then. Yeah. You have to control that. You can blow or hear the sound indefinitely because you cover the hole and it doesn't stop anymore. It's very strange, yeah.
Dragika, are you with us now?
I think no.
No.
Yes, I think I am. Hey. It's I had little connection problems.
Yeah, hear you fine.
Yes. Hello.
So, getting excited? Only 3 more days, right? Oh.
Oops.
Bye.
She was too excited. Too excited, yes.
You guys see that? She's got her first gig with the Alpha in 3 days.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Tweeted about it. Yeah. I can tell you.
It's kind of a long way to travel to see her, unfortunately. When's she going to play over here? Then I can see her.
Well, if she posts a video, it's the next best thing, right?
Oh, I hope she does. I really enjoyed your video.
Thanks.
That was well done, and the sound was good, the video was good, and of course the playing and the singing was excellent too. But it's nice when they all come together like that. It's almost like being there.
Yeah, there was this little spot at the end of the pub where we played, where I could actually high up on the ceiling, some kind of an alcove where I could put the video camera. And I kind of like this feeling that this gives you. It's like you're looking into a room and you see the surroundings. And
yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was a nice viewpoint. Yeah. You got to see a lot of the audience too. That was kind of interesting to watch the audience there. They were a different audience, definitely.
You got introduced to some of the lower class people in Belgium there. It's this region where we played that gig is really considered almost fourth world. It's quite dodgy actually sometimes. So you do get some very colorful characters walking in. let's check here. We'll join from time to time, but preferably not constantly. Okay. Well, we've noticed that.
Yeah, I'm probably phasing out from time to time. Connection is really bad here.
Yes, you're coming and going, and you're doubling up, and you're like Trachika number 2, and.
Yeah.
Yes, time is relative.
So, getting ready for the gig.
Yes, getting nervous.
I can see that. I was there 2 days ago. I know what it's like.
Yeah. It's my first real concert.
In like ever? Or in like with
I mean I had piano with my piano. I had a music school. We had some concert, parents coming and so on.
Right.
This was around 24 years ago. And so it's actually my first real concert, so like not just having some parents sitting there.
All right.
It's a very nice experience. It's I still remember some of my first. It's interesting.
Yeah, they are daunting.
Yeah. I hope everything will go all right, and if not, I will smile and pretend everything is going all right.
That's the key.
Very good.
It's all just, it's all passing, right? It's sound. Sound goes away. So if you just pretend that what you did was okay, then people will say, okay, well, it's strange, it's interesting, but it's strange.
Yeah, I mean, the Eigenharp is strange anyway, so probably nobody notices.
No. And you're not alone. You've got 2 other people on stage, so that's
actually
also.
3 other people.
Oh, 3 other people.
We are 4. Yeah.
Oh, big help.
Accumulated. Yeah.
It definitely makes it easier.
Yes. So yeah, Antonio, I've been having a lot of fun with this Piano Tech plugin.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
You guys should definitely check this out. If you want to try out the trial version, I definitely think you should not go with the play version, but with the standard one, because you can position where your microphones are. You can put yourself underneath the piano and hear what the sound would be like, as if you have one ear stuck in the soundboard and the other one from behind looking up or something like that. It's like interesting sounds. It's an amazing amount of configuration that you can do in terms of the harmonics, how the resonance of the strings is. Something that I was very surprised of is that you can very faintly constantly hear the resonance of the strings across the other ones as on a real piano. So if you hit a chord and then play some high notes, and you can very, very faintly hear that, and it's nice. It's very nice.
Yeah. I got the play version and I'm still loving it. Planning on later upgrading. Yeah. My latest trying has to be about the program change.
Yes.
Yeah, you can even do it very easily. I put it down on the percussion keys. It's very fast, very nice.
Yeah, that's actually what I've got this set up here also. Instead of using my percussion keys, I've got the key here that lets you calibrate the pedals, right? You got this whole section of empty keys on the top of the Alpha, right? I actually put there a series of talkers that are grouped together to switch sounds through program changes also. That's actually how I switch between songs. So instead of tying them to sounds, they're tied to songs. So So for example, this one reconfigures it all so that I can play with the acoustic guitar set up here. So it does the whole, it retunes the whole Eigenharp just from a series of talkers, and then here I'm just back to normal. So yeah, it's similar to what you do. Just putting it on the percussion keys is easy if you want to change in real time in between songs. But if you want to do some large-scale changes, there is a lot of empty space available on the Alpha to put talkers a huge series of phrases and then just change everything.
Of course, we are getting into bel canto, and
yes.
you have to get it. But like key group 100, I think it's almost empty. You can do so much there. This percussion keys I was talking, it's just to associate notes on with program change, so it's damn easy to pull it off.
Yes.
And all the presets, I think they are very, very detailed and very, very usable. All of them.
Yep, I agree with you. I did spend a long time fine tuning though with piano tech, but it's just because I'm a perfectionist. Don't talk don't talk to me. Don't talk to my girlfriend about that because she will kind of. He's just going way too far. No one will hear that ever.
So, I'm getting better at that. Also, I'm in the signs a virgin, so I love perfectionism, but I'm getting softer on that issues. Yeah.
So
So Antonio, you're using the player version.
It's called the play version.
That's the less expensive one. Yeah.
Yes.
It costs more than double for the standard.
Yeah, what I really like though is that if you upgrade, they don't actually charge you more money. It's just a difference.
No. Yeah.
So.
Oh, that settles it then. Get the player, and then if you want to,
like it,
once you get that, and then go on and upgrade it, and it's kind of like two installment payments. Then makes it a little easier for us that are have less money to spend.
Yes, it's softer.
Their electronic pianos are amazing. Also, the Rhodes. I really love the Rhodes that they have there. It's
I like the Wurlitzer. I got one.
I'm not sure what I've got. I think I don't have it set up. Something wrong.
I have to bought them after. And I started with this CP80 and I still left it.
So that's why it's not playing. These electronic pianos, you have to buy them if you want to really use them, and after 20 minutes it times out, so that's why it's not.
Yeah.
and you guys should check this out. They've got this whole project called Kivir, or I don't know how you pronounce this. It's since they've got this whole synthesis model of modeling a percussion stringed instrument, they're modeling unique pianos from the 19th century and stuff like that, and trying to get the exact sound from that era.
Yeah.
And you get them free. So this is a historic piano, C Graph from 1826.
It's pianoforte.
It's another one from the 18th century here. It's amazing.
And the harpsichord. There's no how you call it, velocity, so it gets difficult to play. You have to be very focused. Doesn't matter what pressure are you using. Yeah. Oops.
I didn't realize that. Is that the case in the original instrument in harpsichords? There's no velocity?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know about that. Huh.
The preset.
that was one of the shortcomings of a harpsichord, because you just push the little plucker thing up and down, and it was one volume, one velocity.
Yeah.
And then I guess early piano movements, with the hammers and stuff, they didn't have it's a very sophisticated mechanism, really, to get that pianoforte and have it work right. It took them a while to develop it all.
Yeah.
It's a very complex
to make
mechanism.
The steel frame where the strings are mounted. These are really they needed a lot of technology to do them.
Yes.
Because a piano, that's why a piano is so heavy, because of the steel frame that's inside that holds the strings in.
I think they have 40,000 pounds of string tension on a full grand piano now. So it's almost impossible to make wood hold up to that for more than 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
About the time you get it tuned, it breaks. So that's what they had to go to the cast iron and steel frames. Quite an instrument.
So is this something that I'm working on for the 2.0 release? Now, really briefly said that to Antonio. I just tweeted a picture, but I'm going to put it on the live screen also. So Pianotech, they have this support for high resolution note velocity over MIDI.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So if you look at that picture, you can see that it's actually fractional note velocities. Instead of just one until from 1 to 127 in integers, it actually has it's 14-bit, so it puts decimal numbers after the velocity, which is actually for the very when you go to very low velocity, it makes a lot of difference.
So how do you achieve that?
I slept with someone.
You keep talking, I'm gonna get out of the car.
I think
Don't click that link. Well, currently you'd kind of have to build 2.0 from hand, from the source code, but it's going to be part of 2.0. But so I'm just trying it out at the moment to see if it works well. And
great.
To me, the sole thing that I really loved about the piano that ships with the Eigenharp is that detailed velocity. Is the fact that doesn't trigger it over MIDI, and that the velocity detection is floating point, so extremely precise.
Oh.
But with this high resolution MIDI velocity, it's as precise as the sound fonts. So
so that's
quite
that's
nice.
That's the Black Grand that comes with the Alpha.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I didn't realize that.
Well,
yeah.
actually,
I'm just starting.
Any sound font that you play, any sound font instrument, has that degree of precision, because we don't go over MIDI. We go directly from the control streams that come from the Eigenharp into the sampler engine that we wrote ourselves. So.
Okay, I'm just starting to work with sound fonts and the samplers. Little by little here, I have I found 30 or 40 sound fonts, and I'm trying to audition those and get a little idea. I'm using Stage, and I'm getting an idea of what the sampler does. I'm having some trouble with the inline FX though. The only ones I have right now are what comes with the Mac, I think.
Right.
It shows up on the Eigen browser as Apple, and there's a list of a whole bunch of things. And occasionally, I don't know what I've done or something, but I'm trying out different ones of those in the sampler instrument, and Eigen-D crashes.
Okay.
So
well,
I don't know what I did, or maybe I shouldn't
running?
use those.
Which version?
1.3.29 stable.
Okay. Definitely send me a bug report about that, because it shouldn't happen. Not with the Apple
Yeah.
ones. Are you running Lion?
No, I'm running a Snow Leopard.
Okay. Well, that shouldn't happen.
I figured I don't want to add any more complexity to what I'm already experiencing. Snow Leopard worked, and I don't think there's anything in Lion that I really need to have. I mean, I'm not used to iPhones or anything like that, so.
Right. The other thing you're going to find with the sound fonts is if you get really crappy sound fonts, they sound really good on the Alpha and the Pico or any of it. Because there's no articulation in them. So all of the articulation comes directly from your performance. Right. So I snaffled a couple from GarageBand, Chinese flute, and I think probably something like a Celtic flute, and I just put them on that double sampler, and they're amazing. And they're absolutely terrible samples on their own.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I put a link on Eigenzone under sound fonts, and then it's discussion. I still don't understand how to add to the wikis very well. But if you go to the Eigenzone sound font, and then there's just one article there, but there's a thing on discussion, and on discussion you'll find my listing of the link to a place where it has lots of sound fonts.
Right.
And I'm going to try to detail that more, but I got started on that, and I do have to learn how to add stuff to the wiki better, because it wasn't where I wanted it to be, but at least it's there, sort of.
Can you say something about how the Sampler 2 instrument is set up on the Alpha? It seems like
two or three, the breath control one.
2, yeah, the breath control. It seems like it's taking the velocity from the key and then using the breath as an envelope.
Yes, it's not very intuitive. It basically just uses volume. Yeah, it uses the volume. Breath is done. It's controlling the volume, but the velocity is done through the keys. And this is something that will be fixed with, kind of fixed. It depends on what you want to do. It's quite interesting as an effect, but it doesn't really feel natural.
That's what I was getting to, yeah.
So that's part of the development that we're doing with the strummer, which is, it sounds strange that strummer would fix a breath thing, but it's basically, it's the same idea. You've got an external impulse that triggers the fact that a note is being played. It's not the key itself that triggers that the note is being played, but it's like when you're strumming the guitar, you put your fingers down to say which are the notes that you want to play, and then you strum to trigger that. The idea of strumming is that you can strum multiple strings, but if you strum one string, then basically you get a breath instrument, because instead of strumming, you're blowing. So, and the velocity of the strumming action, which would in the case of the Alpha or the Tau be hitting the percussion keys, or or blowing into the breath pipe, which is another action, have the same kind of conceptual behavior, which is triggering a note and detecting the velocity from an external trigger instead of the note that you're actually playing.
Okay. And how easy is it to swap that out or back? I mean, to go from the current behavior to
when the strummer is not finished yet. It's getting there, but once that's finished, I will post a couple of scripts to put them in, but it's like 2 lines of bel canto, and it's basically just creating the strummer agent and plugging it in between the scaler and whatever is upstream, and then it will trigger the right note. So it's really not that hard once it will be done. So for Larry,
nice.
if you're looking for more plugins, I'll just post this anyway. You said that you're not that interested in making your life more complex, but this site,
to a point.
meldaproduction.com, they've got a free bundle of audio unit effect plugins that is really free to download and to use, and it's absolutely excellent. It's
okay. I will do that, and I mean, maybe it's something with the Apple ones. I don't know, but you know, that was just what was available when I opened it up and started working with it. But if you use these, I'll definitely go get those.
But definitely send me more details about what is happening and when you experience a crash with which Apple audio unit. And we'll get to the bottom.
Yeah, it was the multi-band compressor I had up there, and I was switching back, and I'm not exactly sure what I did, but I was switching back and forth between stage and displaying the multi-band compressor graphical interface. And someplace right in there, the whole thing just said Bel Canto quit and doesn't like you.
Well, next time,
but I was able to start it up again.
Yeah. Next time, drop me a note, and then I'll ask you for some more information to see.
Okay, I'll try to keep an eye on that, because one thing I know from other pieces of software, not necessarily the Eigenharp, I'm assuming it's going to be the same, is that it's hard to evaluate different instruments, in this case sound fonts, without having some effects afterwards. Sometimes it really makes a difference.
It does, yeah.
I mean, just a straight instrument, and then you add, delay, reverb, compressor, whatever, and sometimes you can take a kind of a dull instrument and it livens it up and makes it sound nicer.
Yes.
So I wanted to use both to evaluate these sound fonts I'm trying out.
So yeah.
I leave one more link with free plugins. I think that one is already there on the forum, but it was there. It's not mine.
Good.
I think there's plenty of them.
Oh, cool.
So.
Yeah, a lot of the Melda ones are in there.
Yeah.
I actually spent quite a while, a couple of months ago, trying out all of the decent free plugins available, just to be able to recommend things. And I can honestly, 60%, 70% of what's on that page is Melda. It's just amazing what they give you for free. Their compressor is absolutely stunning. It's I'm using it now for mixing because it's really great and easy to use. So yeah.
The more experienced people out there, do you prefer audio unit plugins over putting different sound fonts in the sampler, or is there no huge difference there?
I never use sound fonts anymore personally.
Okay.
Which to the big dismay of the others at Eigen Labs, because I think it's a convenience thing. It's just so easy to try out another audio unit, and the wealth of possibilities in these plugins is so tremendous that
it depends. In my latest show, I have to have like 10 or 11 sounds, and I use the sound fonts to have access or quick access to different sounds. But I remember I convert them from other sources. It depends, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I find myself using audio units more than anything else. But the sound fonts are they're quick, they're stable, they don't screw up.
That's true.
Yeah,
and they're very light footprint if you want to run off a small machine.
Yeah,
typically.
Has anybody tried that? I seem to came across a link for a piece of software that would help you convert all the sounds from your audio unit or from your external synthesizer into sound font format.
Yes.
Has anybody tried that?
Well, I think that's how, I don't know which one, but some of the sound fonts that we ship have actually been converted with that.
CD extract, you mean?
No. It's something that triggers the notes automatically and then records that and automatically creates a sampled instrument from it. Radmatica is making that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's that.
Auto sampler, I think.
Yeah, that's the one.
So yes, we've used it. I don't know exactly for which instrument it is, but we've used it to convert existing instruments into sound fonts. So yes, it's a good approach if you have the time to let it go through all the notes and all the velocities and all the different variations that are possible. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one.
Ones to convert, right? Well, CD extract sadly hasn't been updated since I don't know, forever.
Well, and it requires Rosetta.
Yes, so there is one other that I've been trying out, and doesn't seem as bad as all the others. It's not.
High praise indeed.
And it's called Translator by Chicken Systems.
Yes, there's a seminar about some time ago.
Yes.
About creating sound fonts. Yeah. I think it's 15. And yogurt, you've mentioned Vienna, I think.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, I've never used it apart from in the beginning saying that it existed. I think it's for Windows users, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's a little bit there also, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So, creating what?
Gert, I have a lot of little pictures in this on the bottom, and then one big picture on the Hangout.
Yes.
Are you the one that controls which is at the big picture?
No, that's you. If you click on someone, it will be the big picture. If you click again, then it will automatically switch to the person that's speaking.
Yeah.
This is a feature of Google+.
Yeah, it's not a bug, honest.
No. So if you click outside, I think it's if you click outside of a picture, then you kind of deselect someone, and then it automatically detects who's speaking, and will show that person in big.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Well, let's do a Google Plus Clubhouse to discuss how to use Google Plus.
How it works. I mean, because sometimes it would change and sometimes it wouldn't change.
Right.
Yeah.
He must be controlling it. I didn't realize it was semi-automatic.
Yeah, it's quite neat how it detects that. Well, it's not rocket science; it just detects data coming in. But it's
yeah.
I still think it's rocket science. To me, it's amazing.
I miss some screen sharing possibilities over Google Plus, but I have to wait or see.
I was thinking about that today. I wanted to show some stuff on the Piano Tech GUI, and I was like, no easy way to share that over Google Plus. One thing we can do though is I was thinking about that since I'm actually the way I'm streaming this out over live stream is by doing screen sharing of my Google Plus browser window.
Mm-hmm.
So we could look at the live stream but then I'm the only one that is able to share something, which is not ideal. So.
Yeah. Maybe you know join.me. I just checked that yesterday, I think. Maybe you can use something like that to show us, but again, it's not the way around. I think.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, there's an app.
Another technical question: is it possible to?
Sorry, there's an app for also iPhone and iPads. I don't know.
Well, have a look at it and see if it works well.
Yeah.
Yes, Trachika.
Sorry.
Is there a possibility to save the chat window?
Save it.
Because the links. Because if I open them and they play something, that's not going to go well, like the first one you posted.
I've got a very good tip for you there.
Copy paste.
Copy paste.
Yeah.
I tried that, and it kicked me out.
If you select a part of the text and do apples.
Yeah, I tried that, and it kicked me out. And it kicked me out, and the chat window is now empty.
Oh, that's because it's all copyrighted.
Yeah.
Automatic copyright detection.
I tried the easy method, and it didn't work.
Well, I just did it. It worked for me. So maybe you accidentally closed the window while doing that. I don't know.
She did the relogin or something.
I just did it, but I use services, create a new text edit window. Which is quicker than opening some other thing to do it, right?
You know, this is one of the things that is heavily underused by me is services. Interesting.
I use them all the time.
Yeah. Well, I should start using them.
It's just one less step, right?
Yes.
And the only problem is many of the applications don't come with the services installed, so you have to go through the step of saying what you want it to do, right?
Right. Have to look at that more. I've always wanted to delve some deeper into those services.
You can easily program them yourself if you want to. With this automator they have, you can make a service, just click stuff together like if file in X then do Y, Z or whatever, and have it, more or less in 5 minutes by clicking some pictures. You can have pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, I'll attest to that. Even I can do it. And I have trouble turning on.
And if you really want to do complicated stuff, you can always do AppleScript. So,
yes,
which isn't too complicated if you look at the Eigenharp code. So,
well, let's change the subject. No. Antonio, you asked me a question about on Twitter about that script that I posted for the percussion.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing it.
At the moment, there is no way to set
multiple
a global configuration that uses multiple channels at the same time. Multiple MIDI channels at the same time. The only thing you can do is putting it in poly mode and giving it a maximum and minimum, and then have it go through the poly mode channels. But it's a good feature request, though. So
I think so.
I strongly suggest you to send that in through the regular email channels.
I still have to add that MIDI clock master. Also, I'll do an email with those two at least.
Hey, well, that's in though, the MIDI clock master. I don't know if you know that, but it's in there. It's been in there since like forever.
Yeah,
so
so
the Eigenharp can be the master, no problem.
Yes.
As soon as you turn on the metronome, there is a virtual MIDI output port being created by Eigen-D that's called Eigenlabs. And it will always send out MIDI clock information on that MIDI port. Always. There's no configuration to be done. So if you set up something to listen on that MIDI port for MIDI clock information, it will sync to it.
Okay, and it will be the master. Okay.
Yes, and so it's tied to the metronome. So.
Okay.
So that's something actually that I didn't know for a long time. I just stumbled into it myself a couple of months ago, which is those two MIDI interfaces on the Mac, Eigenlabs, MIDI input, MIDI output. Yeah, they're always set up to work. So you. Oh, thank you. No, it's not.
Not here.
It is where I am.
It's a sort of Monty Python sketch. No, it's not. It's 5 o'clock.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Sorry, I unmuted myself, so my clock did that. Antonio, I think you might be able to create multiple channels in MIDI pipe.
Yes, that's a possibility, but it's so much easier to do it on the percussion keys visually.
Sure, just a temporary workaround though, if that's what you wanted.
Yeah, and I was again amazed by how bel canto works, but that script I didn't get anywhere anyway.
You didn't get that script that I posted. You didn't understand?
No, I don't understand how it's built.
You want me?
How it works?
You want me to go over it quickly?
Yes, maybe just the words that they're there.
Let me just pull it up.
Those little two signs. I don't think parentheses. No, that's not it.
Yes, hang on. I can't remember where I put this.
I've seen it in other places, but
we're talking about this page on the wiki, right? Just Antonio, just make sure that we're on the same. That's the one we're talking about.
I can see it.
Can you see the chat? Is that the one we're talking about?
Oh, sorry.
I suppose it is, because I think it's the only one I posted like that.
Yeah, it's Media Channel, sorry. Yeah.
So, well, we can go over that very briefly. So, the script starts where the text says description, and that is basically a commentary that will be shown when you have the scripts browser open and you see the scripts being listed. That's a commentary that is shown to the right, so that you can basically know what will happen when you load in the script. And then the actual commands start from the script word onwards. And all the rest has to be indented by at least one space. So the first command, empty join, is basically a security thing. It's to make sure that you're starting from an empty slate. So you have to look at Belcanto as some kind of a clubhouse. It's a clubhouse of agents inside Eigenharp.
Yeah.
So the way that Belcanto works is that you say, hey, you scalar agent, and hey, you talker, and hey, you audio unit, I've got something to say to you. And then once they're listening, you will say something to them, right?
Yeah, and they execute.
And they will continue listening, and they will continue listening until you say, okay, empty join. No one has to be joined into the discussion anymore, right? Unless you say something like, hey, but that's like on the fourth line, percussion key group 1, hey, then it will be, I'm addressing you directly and I will just say one thing to you. So that's the difference.
Very good. The basics I get by now. I'm sure you've seen some things. Just like.
But if you're okay with it, I'll just go quickly over the things in there, so that
everybody,
if everyone says no, I don't want to, then I will not do it. I'm thinking that maybe.
I'm listening.
Okay. So
yeah.
So that's the empty join. Then the next two lines basically go together, but the first one here, talker create. Talker is the name of an agent, right? And you'll have to go to the Belcanto reference to see what kind of agents are available in Eigenharp. But this is the name of a type of agent you want to create. And a talker is the agent that is able to talk to other agents when you press a key. So it's able to talk in your stead when you press a key, right? So when you say talker create, it will create it. And then it will remember which one it created, but it will be named, for example, Talker 37. You don't know what it's going to be named like, because it will just add the next number to the talker, right, as name. If you want to give it a meaningful name, then you can reference it on the next line, which is it. You're saying, oh, the thing that I just created. Change its name, so it to channel talker 1 nameify, which then changes the name of the talker you just created. So that is basically a thing that goes together. And then the next line is a line where I'm talking to the percussion key group, so the 12 keys at the bottom, and there's only one there, but it's still percussion key group 1. And I'm saying, hey, percussion key group, I want to create another output. And an output is the things that you see when you press the mode key.
Yeah,
so when you press the mode key on a key group or the percussion key group, you see the instrument slide up that you can select, right? Those are actually outputs, and what they do is they redirect the information stream as if you open some floodgates. So if you open the door to an output, then the information will go to another direction. If an output closes and another one opens, then the information will go to that direction. So that's what an output is for. It's basically to redirect the flow of data that goes through your setup in Belcanto. Is my bird too loud? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I can't do much about it.
It's singing. No problem.
No problem.
Do you have 2 seconds? Because there's someone at the door. I'll be right back.
Okay. I just could. Let me see if I could show you. I've different outputs already on my percussion key group. That mainly. I have access to every instrument, like sampler 1, sampler 2, 3, 4, in other things that I can do with the percussion keys.
Interesting.
Yes, you can configure it. It's not difficult. Through Belcanto, that's it. That's by now there's no other way.
Okay, so I'm back. Is it clear until now, Larry?
Up to now, it's helping a bunch. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, so until that line, basically what we did was we created a new talker, which is empty. It doesn't know what it has to say when it's activated, right? This channel talker 1, right? And we created a new door, a new output in the percussion key group where information can go through. So the next line, percussion key group 1, output 7 to channel talker 1 connect, that line basically says that when you select that new created output, that newly created output 7, you have to connect it to the talker that we just created, so that channel talker 1. Which means that the output created the possibility to select it, but by connecting it to another agent, you actually activate data stream so that it can go to something that actually does something. Otherwise, you just have a door with nothing behind it. It's like connecting up a hallway to a door or something like that, right? So this is just basic plumbing, what we call this. Is just setting things up so that you can do the interesting part, right? The interesting part is being able to have this talker do stuff when you press a key. So the next step with those 3 listens is basically you're going to say to a couple of agents, come in, join the conversation because I want to say something to you. We're going to set something up that requires all 3 of you. And the 3 agents that are required are channel talker 1, the one you just created. Audio unit 1, because I'm going to use that to change the MIDI channel on the audio unit. And the interpreter is what is able to understand Belcanto. There's always one interpreter in the system, in your setup. It's able to understand Belcanto. So those 3 lines basically say to them, let's all join a conversation and I will tell you what you'll have to do later on once the conversation is finished, right? And then you'll see the same pattern over and over again of 3 lines. The first one is open quotes. You have to put a space after that, and it's channel talker 1, hey, 1 to 1 from 2 clarify, close quotes, 1 1 do, right? Basically what this means is if you just don't look at the quotes, just look at the 1 1 do, right? What that means is when key 1 is pressed, do whatever comes before, okay? You will see the same thing on the next line. When key 1 is pressed, set a value to something, and the value of the thing that has to be set is MIDI channel 1, right? So you see 2 verbs here. One verb is do something, and the other verb is set something to another value. Okay?
Yep.
So the first line, whatever is in between quotes, will actually talk to the interpreter. So each agent will try to understand what you're saying in this conversation. It's a little bit like Alex over there, who tries to understand English. He will, once in a while, well, most of the times, understand exactly what we're saying, and then once in a while will not be okay, and the other way around, right? So each talker in a conversation tries to understand as much as possible, and will remember what has been said to him. So whatever is in between quotes here is something that the interpreter will understand, and it basically creates a phrase in Belcanto that will be executed, which is like it's like an isolated talker. It's something that will be triggered when a key is pressed. So what this does is channel talker 1, hey, 1 to 1 from 2 clarify, will basically say you have to color key number 1. So hey 1, the first number here is 1. You have to color it to 2. You have to color it to the color 1 if it was 2, and that's it. So the color codes are 1, 2, 3. I think it's green, orange, red, or green, red, orange. Well,
something like that. Yeah. Okay.
So when the first key is pressed, it will say to the interpreter, hey, execute this little snippet, which will mean that key will actually be colored in green. Which is just something beautiful. It hasn't got any meaningful use to it, but it's nice to know what you just pressed. Then the next one, MIDI channel to 1 set, is something that audio unit 1 will understand. So audio unit 1 has a variable. How can you call this in bel canto? A port that can be set to a value, and the port is called MIDI channel. So as soon as that first key on the talker on the channel talker 1 is being pressed, it will set the MIDI channel port to the value 1. And when the audio unit receives that value 1, it will automatically configure itself and do all of the that's necessary so that MIDI notes will be sent out on channel 1. And then the next line, 1 to 2 colorify, actually has got nothing to do with what you're setting up here, because there is no when. When is when something happens in the future, is whenever you press that key, something will happen. The next line basically sets up the things that you're seeing now. So I'm actually coloring all the keys orange as I go along. So the first key in the talker is already colored orange because I set it to 2. Which means that afterwards it will be changed to green because channel talker 1, hey, 1 to 1 from 2 colorify, will see that it was 2 and then set it to 1, which is green, when that key is pressed. Was this total Chinese or not?
No, not for me.
It was a big help.
So all the rest is basically the same. So you can see that the only thing that changes is the number of the key. So I go from key 1 to 12 on the percussion
12,
keys,
yes.
right? And as soon as you've entered one of these lines, it will be saved in your setup. So the empty join at the end of those 12 times 3 lines, the empty join will basically say, stop listening to me. But it's not like a save or anything, it's just stop listening to me, because every time you enter a line in bel canto, it's the current state, it's present, it's what's there now. And that's it, basically that's the whole script, because then you go on, the next one creates a new talker that has got the name channel talker 2, and it will create an output 8 on the 8th key of the percussion key group, and then basically sets up the whole thing again, and it goes through that until key number 10.
Yeah.
So output number 10 and the 4th channel talker.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Just feel free.
No, I got it. I got.
Cool.
Yeah. By now I've messed around very much with the percussion keys. That's all the instruments, and the 12 is something different. And this script is also very, very good. And thanks for sharing again. So yeah.
Let me just.
That was helpful. I'm losing my battery here, so it's going to disconnect me. So I'll just go ahead and do it.
We're going to stop soon anyway. But
yeah, I don't have the longest battery life on this computer. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it very much.
Okay, bye-bye, Larry.
Yes, see you next week. And if you've got any questions, just you can send me an email beforehand if you want me to prepare something that you're unsure about. You can always look into something. So that was his battery. And I'm gonna have to go also because the kids just arrived home and they will enter and start screaming in this room soon. So.
Well, see you all next week, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you.
Thanks. Good.
Bye Alex, nice meeting you.
Salut.
Salut, à la prochaine.